It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, how you doing? I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you. Because that's New Orleans, and this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleanians in a bar. Today we're at the fabulous Wayfare on Ferret Street, which is just a little way down from Napoleon Avenue, right across, by the way, you guys, from the European Wax Center. Don't know if you're familiar with
brand new.
No. It's a brand new European Wax. Now, Ian, how did you know that it was brand new?
Because that whole building's brand new.
I know. Have you been into the European Wax Center yet, though?
No,
that's a hint.
I haven't been into the ice cream shop either.
The ice cream shop is good. I've been into both of them, actually, the European Wax Center and the ice cream shop. This is Ian Neville, who's a guitar player in Dumpstaphunk, who's here.
Yes, indeed.
And he's got an awesome T-shirt from Big Lebowski.
I love it.
Yeah, my boy Walter Zobchek.
Walter Zobchek.
Spirit animal.
That's John Goodman's character's name.
Yeah.
Your spirit animal is Walter
Sometimes
Zobchek.
when it needs to be, you know.
Do you roll on the Shabbos?
That's C-Rock, who's our fact checker.
What's up?
So you're a big Lebowski fan, C-Rock?
Yeah, I'm a Lebowski. I'm a Coen Brothers diehard.
I just heard that George Clooney is directing the new Coen Brothers movie.
Yeah, they wrote
Really?
it.
Did you hear that story?
What's it called?
I don't know.
Suburbicon.
Suburbicon.
I didn't know that.
Written by
That's
the
good.
Coen Brothers
I
and
didn't know that
directed by
either.
George Clooney. And look who else is here. Chef Toya Boudy. Hey, Chef Toya, how's it going?
Hey, I'm doing good. How
Really?
Are
Are
you?
you seriously doing good?
Yeah,
Look
fan
at the
freaking tastic.
Is this actual gold, this watch?
Yeah.
That is an impressive looking gold watch. It's got a map of, it's so big it can have a map of the entire world on it.
I don't know.
You notice that?
Yeah, it does have a
Does it,
map.
does it say where, does it light up where you are in the world?
No, it doesn't light up where I
I
am.
like it. Did you win that somewhere? Or was that-
No, I didn't. I just bought it
You bought
somewhere.
it?
Yeah.
Where'd you get it?
Dillard's.
Dillard's, really?
Yeah, yeah,
How
yeah.
much was it?
It was
It
my
looks
gift.
expensive.
It was my gift to myself.
You bought it for
I got
yourself.
I got it on sale for $136.
Thank you.
136.
Yeah, I've never talked to anybody about that.
That's
but yeah,
pretty.
I got it
That's,
on sale.
is that a good deal for a watch? When's the last time you bought a watch? Mark Bologna is here, who's the host of the fabulous podcast Beyond Bourbon Street.
Thank you.
Which is a real insider's guide to New Orleans.
Yes,
You
we
couldn't
try
get
to
much
be.
more inside than right here. This is about as inside as you get
Yeah.
with Chef Toya, Ian Neville, and I'm as about as outside. And this guy here.
Okay,
That's
he,
Mr. Inside New Orleans right there. I don't know who that is,
He
but
just came from outside.
he looks
so-
good. What
No,
are
he's
you,
inside.
what
We're
are
good.
you
He's
drinking,
inside
Ian?
now.
What the hell is that?
I know it's like
It's
a
something
fancy,
about some tequila and some like grapefruit and lime situation.
And what comes with it? Like a little
A
baby
little sidecar
sampler?
of beer. I didn't know I was
It's like a
getting
little
that, so-
baby glass of beer, just
Yeah,
in case.
it's a baby
In case
glass.
you need, in case you bring your kids.
A little toddler
Yeah.
glass.
Do you have any
It is
kids,
like a
Ian?
sippy cup.
Nope.
almost.
Do you have a girlfriend or a wife or anything?
No. Yeah,
Nothing.
Nah.
How can you be? How are you a rock star in one of the greatest bands in America and you don't have a girlfriend? Is that really true?
You have to find a way to fumble around this question. 'Cause
Is that
you
true?
know, travel. I travel a lot.
Right.
You know, yeah, that's it. I'm never in the same place for all
right.
that long.
How long are you in the same place for? Like a night or
Right
a week?
now, I'm in New Orleans for like a whole week and a half straight.
And that's
which
a
is
long
nice.
oh
time.
wow.
Yeah.
So you don't have any do you have girls like all over the country stashed away?
No, I got a,
Troy's,
I got a
Troy's
little,
giving you the.
I got a friend, you know.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, so you do have a girlfriend.
I didn't put that other word on the front of that.
Okay.
Totally.
You
but,
did, it's too much commitment.
It's no, what it is it's like purposely not labeled
right.
because that makes that shit complicated
Yeah.
automatically.
And how does she feel about that?
It's worked out so far.
She thinks
There.
she thinks
must
it's awesome.
feel okay about it. She's there.
She doesn't want you to talk about it either.
She was feeling all right
And
until
this
about 30 seconds ago.
this guy, this comedian, Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah,
he was like,
he is funny.
Yeah, he's good. He said, "I don't have a girlfriend. I just know a girl who would be pissed if she heard me say that."
Yeah, that's what I
So
was
that's
thinking.
like the
that
diplomatic
is
answer.
very,
Right.
Yes. That's
Well, you don't need
accurate.
everyone to know all your business. What's her name? It must be fun being your girlfriend, though, mustn't it? Are you faithful to her while you're on the road,
Look at his eyes.
or does no one talk about that? How does that work?
58 minutes
I'm
to
better.
go again.
I'm better than most.
Better than most. Oh, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
That's a smart way of wording it.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Unfortunately, my partner Andrew Duhon is not here today because he's on the road on a tour himself. Do you know him? Do you know Andrew?
Yes.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good stories about the same sort of thing. It's very difficult. It's a difficult life. It's not that funny, really.
I mean, it's weird. You
Yeah.
know, it's
It's the
I don't
worst
know any
of all
different,
worlds.
so that helps.
That's true. But it's kind of the worst of all worlds because, you're on the road. You could get tons of women, but you don't really, after a while, you don't really want to do that.
That shouldn't be your driving focus of
Right.
being on the road, first of all.
Right.
And
It is. It is for a lot of people, though.
it is. Totally. So,
Because it's the one thing you can actually succeed at. No one comes to the gig, or people hate your music, or you suck, or you have a bad night, or whatever. Not in your case, but in general, if you're
Right.
starting out as a musician. But you can definitely fuck chicks, though.
if your band sucks,
It
it's
doesn't-
harder.
Is it really?
I think so. I think my band usually doesn't suck, so I'm not.
You're not in
I'm a
that,
little biased,
but,
I guess.
yeah. No, but there's always women who will have sex with you, even if you're in a shitty band. Haven't you
Even if
discovered-
you're not a musician, though,
Well-
too. So
It's a lot easier, though, if you're in a bar with a guitar in your hand and you're actually, like that, and everyone's
Yeah.
sort of half drunk. Don't you think, Toya? Have you been in that position?
No, not in that position.
No. I mean, on the other side of it.
No, not on the other side of that.
Don't you
position.
find men more attractive if they can play music?
I think creativity is attractive because I'm a right brain thinker, totally.
Right brain, is that good?
Yeah.
Is that like Republican?
No. But I'm
What
definitely
is right?
a right brain thinker. I'm more creative. I love different art forms and stuff like that. Creating things with my hands, that kind of stuff.
Well, you're a chef, after all. So.
Yeah. I'm a chef and an abstract artist. I started out
You're
in
a
the city.
painter?
Mm-hmm. I started out in the city doing poetry and stuff and motivational speaking. So that's kind of how I got my first buzz. But I was always cooking in the background, for years since I was like 9.
You started out as a motivational speaker. Mm-hmm. How do you get to start out as a motivational speaker?
It's interesting.
Who would hire you?
Well, what happened is that I just started doing the poetry scenes, right? And I would just go to the poetry scenes, and my art form was never based on something else that I saw from someone else's life. It was always battles or things that I went through.
So you should go to these poetry battles.
And that's how people started to well, why don't you come and speak at this school? And why don't you come? And it just started kind of snowballing. And then before I knew it, it was just like, yeah, I do motivational speaking.
Really?
But it's to circle back to the creativity. I think that is attractive because it's almost like I guess it's one of the reasons why a lot of restaurant chefs are very hard to deal with.
Are they?
A lot of them.
It's like being a musician.
Because it's like a God complex. And when you create things, even me, when I'm on television or something like that, you get a lot of, you get a lot of applause. You get a lot of, whatever all the time. And if you don't have the right character, you can become monstrous, but that same thing is a force that attracts. It's like I'm a magnet when I walk in a room, and that's the creativity. So that's what makes
You're
musicians,
a magnet when you walk in a room, even if people don't know who you are, or only if they know that you're famous already?
even if they don't know. I think they
Really?
want to find out.
You have like a magnetic personality? Let's try it
Yeah.
out.
Well, no, I don't want to.
Walk around the bar
I don't wanna
here
do that.
and see what happens. What
That
happens?
might be read wrong. This is New Orleans,
Do you find that people are attracted to you? Just normally? I mean, even though they don't know who you are?
Yeah.
You think it's the watch?
No, it's definitely not
It's
the watch.
not the watch.
Definitely not the watch.
$136
The tattoos
later.
are dope.
It's the tattoo?
Thank you. Thank you.
You've got some cool tattoos as well over here.
yeah,
Let's go around the room and do tattoos then. What are yours? I can't see anything.
it's the two they're a hybrid of two of my favorite things, New Orleans and Star Wars.
I see. Which one is Star Wars? That one, I assume.
Both of these
they're
are.
combined.
Yeah, it's a two-part system. It's
Okay.
a balanced type of effort.
So did you design them?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow, okay. Can you explain them? That's like the fleur-de-lis, but I don't know anything about Star Wars.
It's like all right. It's the rebel symbol and the Empire symbol.
Okay.
But with fleur-de-lis like embellishments in them.
That's very clean line work too.
I see. Who did it?
Cool. It's my tattoo lady. Her name is Andrea Stoltz. She works out of her house/shop kind of situation on Jabatulas,
Wow, really?
2 blocks up from
And
Hanson's.
that's
Just
wow.
so you can go down and get a snowball and then go get
Yeah.
a tattoo. That's interesting. Bless you, April.
In
Wow.
whichever order you feel necessary.
Yeah, that
Snowball
line
after
work
the
is really
tattoo
cool.
I would
sometimes.
think the tattoo
Probably
first.
after.
Maybe
Yeah.
both, probably, but
Not the same. Yeah, no, I don't know.
it depends on the
Probably
line,
after.
really.
What flavor snowball do you like?
It depends what day it is and like how hot it is maybe, and if I'm gonna get one tomorrow also or not. Or if I'm
So you want to
town.
pace yourself.
That's too much.
It depends
Too much
on
Oh,
all
you
kind
got
of
it all
shit.
figured out. I usually get the same thing. What do you get, Toy? You're a shit fuck.
It depends. It does depend. If it's really like Lucifer sitting on a concrete hot, then I can't have something super creamy. But normally I'll like chocolate with condensed milk.
Right.
Or
That's
I'll,
a number one right there.
Yeah, and if it's cool, if it's okay outside, like today it's not blistering, I could get that. Or if it's a really hot day, I get something like wedding cake. Oh, I have a new one. New
No,
one.
sweet.
wedding cake is that's not
Wedding
good.
cake, cotton candy.
Oh no.
There's a new one called cotton candy, but it actually tastes like candy apple. The candy from the red candy apple.
Damn.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
It's the best.
Really?
It is the best.
I like your expression. Almost
It-
like having an epileptic
Man,
seizure.
it was. It was so.
What?
It was so good.
I was behind a lady yesterday who got cotton candy and wedding cake combined, and I thought, whew, that's sweet.
Yeah.
You
She's
can't-
got teeth missing.
Can you get? Can you
This girl
go
is
to a?
missing teeth.
Can you go to a snowball place where they put alcohol in there?
So I was
If
just
I-
at a
if
party
I-
that had Hanson's. They brought it in, and they had bottles of rum, and they put half the ice in.
Hanson's didn't do it though, right?
No, filled it up with rum, and then put.
See, that
put the
would
rest
If
be-
on
I had a
top.
snowball stand, I would do that. I would have a liquor license, and I would
Seems
make
like a
them.
good idea.
Yeah, it does.
When you say that
I'll stop talking
combination
about it
of-
so somebody won't take it.
Right. Too late.
I'm done.
What did you say? Wedding cake and candy apple. It sounds disgusting, but if you had some like tequila maybe or something with that,
You'd have to mix that
Or
with
vodka.
something. Yeah,
just
Vodka,
Something white.
Everclear.
Yeah.
something
I
white.
saw
Mark,
ladies
what-
do chocolate and ginger cayenne.
Wow.
So
Where
to
can
make
you-
like a Mexican chocolate kind of
I was just
snowball.
about to say.
That sounds
Yeah, that
good.
sounds Mexican.
Where do you get ginger cayenne? At Hanson's?
Hanson's.
They have that.
Hell yeah.
Is it good or is it like stomach
It's
ache?
super good. What the
Sounds
the
great.
chocolate ginger combo? I haven't had that one, but the straight up ginger cayenne is crushing.
That sounds brilliant. I've never had that. How long do you have to wait in line? How long will you wait
Today
in line?
I rode by on the way over here.
On your bike?
No, I was getting a ride from my boy that drives for Lyft.
Right.
Um,
Did you?
and we
there was
did
no
a
line.
chop drive by, and it was like about probably a 15-minute wait, maybe.
That's not
No.
too bad. And that's on a. This is a Wednesday afternoon, by the way. This is just a random Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. If I didn't have somewhere to be, I would have stopped.
Yeah.
15 minutes.
Well, we could send the Lyft guy back and get some snowballs, actually.
It's closing soon. It'll be closed like by the end of the month. Get yours
Yeah,
now.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Damn.
What's going to be closing?
The snowball stand. Everything
maybe like
closed.
closer to Halloween. I don't know yet. She hasn't like announced
She
what
hasn't
the deal's going to
decided?
be.
Yeah.
Have you been to this place on Magazine Street by Harry's Ace Hardware, the Imperial Woodpecker?
No, what's that?
That's a new snowball stand. That's really good.
Really?
I'm not getting paid anything to say that, unfortunately, but we should be.
Yeah, I don't
That's
work for
really,
I
Hanson's
don't get,
either.
I don't
It's
get why they
bomb.
don't keep them open more anyway. It's like it's hot till like
It's
December
like
here.
the Nord swimming pool problem.
I think there's a couple of them that do. I know Ike's Snowballs over on
yep, Ike's.
City Park
They have
Avenue.
good
They're
nachos.
open almost all year round. But Hanson's, I guess they don't have to be, and they shut down for the.
It's a season. You
Yeah.
just get it when you get it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Makes you appreciate it more, I guess.
Well, you know a lot
It's like
about.
crawfish and whatever,
Right.
you know.
Well, that is
Yeah.
seasonal, but snowballs you can make all year. I mean, we can make ice after all. I would think. I mean, ice cream shops
It's
don't
the
close.
quality.
It's the
quality of the fluff of the ice.
it's
like,
the way it's shaved.
yeah, man. If you get to a place and they haven't sharpened those blades, and you get like little chunks and
That's right.
like a refrigerator ice, you're not expecting that. You know, you're thinking it's supposed to
But
be.
you can still be open. I think T. Eva's open all year down there on Magazine Street.
Yeah.
I think she stays open with the thing. So you spend a lot of time in restaurants here in New Orleans,
I
Mark.
do.
You grew up at Teddy's.
I grew up at Teddy's Grill on Franklin Avenue, Franklin and Fillmore and Gentilly. It was a little po' boy place, neighborhood place. And so I grew up, like you were saying, we certainly weren't celebrities. It was a little neighborhood place. But I grew up in the back of that restaurant.
Really?
My parents were kids when they bought the restaurant and kids when they had me. And
How old were they really?
they were 18
Oh,
when they
kids.
bought the place.
Your
they were
parents?
19 when they got married, and they had me
Wow.
a year later.
That's kids.
That's
Wow.
kids.
Yeah.
19. And so how old are they now?
67. So they
Well, that
had
sounds like regular
they
parent
are
age
young.
now, but I guess you're 40 something.
46. They
Wow.
had Teddy's Grill for 36 years in
That
Gentilly.
is so young.
That's crazy.
I have an
Amazing.
18-year-old. Like,
Do you?
yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, that's impressive as well,
yeah,
isn't
she's
it?
first year of college.
Oh,
yeah.
I got 5-year-old twins. So
Oh,
I'm on the other side
wow.
of
Well,
it.
you look a lot too young to have.
I am too young.
How
Yeah,
old you?
yeah.
Can we say? How
Yeah.
old is your
My oldest is 18. The middle is 11. The used to be youngest is turning 5 in December, and I have one coming in February.
Do you really? Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, you've got them spread out.
Yeah, man. That's life, though. My first one I was 16 when I had her.
Same.
So, yeah.
Same as you.
It was very young, but I couldn't even now fathom my 18-year-old having a child now.
Even though,
Jesus.
You
know.
What were you thinking at the time? Was that a total mistake, or did you decide to have a baby at 16?
No, and that's a good question, honestly, because
I
a
knew
lot of
finally
girls.
I'd have a good question.
Yeah, a lot of girls that I went to school with purposed to
Really?
have them. Yeah,
Get knocked up.
It was just something that one of the realest conversations I had with my mother not long ago, maybe about 3 years ago. I told her, I said, I didn't love myself then. That's who else would throw their body away? You can't love yourself. You know, something made you not love yourself enough to even think.
What do you mean by throw your body away?
To give it away like that.
You mean to have sex with a guy?
Oh, yeah.
I think everybody wants to have sex with each other. I don't think that's throwing yourself away, is it?
When they're young like that, no. It's not just wanting to have sex with a guy. It's wanting to achieve and get something that you either did not receive, or something that you're looking for, or whatever your perception has made you think that you will get from that action. I don't truly believe, from being a young girl, and I remember that time in my life very vividly, probably because of the events that happened, but I remember not feeling as if I really wanted to. How some people are like, oh man, I want to, oh yeah. No, it was just like, oh, I should do this because I could get this, and then they could do this, and they could like this.
So you had some sort of a goal in mind.
Yeah, every girl does.
Do they?
Oh, yeah.
I thought some girls would just like to have sex because they enjoy it like guys do.
It hurts when I hear that out loud.
Yeah. And even, but
that's a pretty Machiavellian view of women, I think, isn't it?
It's not.
Luckily, a woman said that. Imagine if a guy had said it.
But think about that. A guy has a goal just as well, even if it's
not really. A guy just wants to have sex with you. So
that's his goal. To end. That's his goal.
Right.
To end that moment. And you know what happens at the end of that moment? That's the goal.
Yeah, then it's all over.
Yeah.
Then you have to do it all over again.
But that's still his goal.
Well, what's the woman's goal?
It depends. It depends on if it's love or in the moment it may be attraction, but it's definitely part.
Well, with us
I hope
at this
he likes
table,
me
it's
more.
attraction, right? Because we all believe that women are just hopelessly attracted to us.
Oh, that's sweet.
Every guy wants to think that.
That is
No
so
guy wants to
sweet.
think, I don't want to think you want to have sex with me just because I'm going to buy you dinner or something.
No, and I think if you directly look at, they maybe want to do that, have sex with me because of my status, or because they want a gift, or because this. But a lot of women focus on stuff that isn't currency. Your time, your attention. He's going to pay more attention to me. Yeah, I am very attracted to him, but he's going to pay more attention
Well,
to me.
I've got a serious question for you. Do you really think that other women think like this, or you just think like this?
No, I
You
think
this
other
is
women.
General, women in general
A good bit of them.
only want to have sex with guys out of some sort of transactional
No.
desire.
You
Not
gotta watch
physical.
that. You gotta watch that because some
What are
is
you saying?
because some of it is physical, some of it is definitely physical.
Right.
But sex is like an intimate motion. So, and it's not just about,
Well, I think we
combining
can all
bodies.
agree on that one.
Not just combining bodies, but it's a real intimate thing that happens on the inside of you. So, and it's not like, because see, when you say transaction, it could feel like, they want money. So all women want money. Because transaction is associated with money all the time.
It could be an
I
exchange
didn't
of
take it.
anything,
I agree with you, but I didn't take it as what he was saying just
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
I mean?
What do you
But
take it as, Ian? What are you thinking?
That's like that makes me like I'm already somewhat suspicious of a lot of people, just in general, like personal motivations of whoever you're dealing with,
Right.
based on what they know about you or think they know about you, etc. And that's just an extension of that same hesitation about dealing with people.
You don't trust
even
people.
even if it's emotion that they're wanting from you and not your status. Even if they just if she's
No, when it gets past the first barrier of initial not really knowing somebody, then I guess you can read people better at that point. But
Yeah.
Do you think that comes from your family name and your upbringing and
Yeah.
what you do?
Yeah.
Because everyone knows your name.
yeah,
Yeah.
before they know my first name most of the time. So it's like, what, you know. It's
So
just
you,
something
so
to be
you have
aware
to
of,
grow up
that's all,
suspecting
you know?
that everybody just wants to be
No,
your
no,
friend
I didn't,
because
no, I didn't like grow up, you know, like that. But as an adult, you just notice people, how like people you knew when you were a kid, and now see them in a different light when you're adults, and just dealing with other adult people that you know, just in
Yeah.
life, business,
Well, that's
and all
the
that.
thing. You
Just,
see, that's
you
the
know.
whole thing about if you grow up in a family where the family business is music and you end up on the stage playing a guitar. It's different from if your family business is the law and you go into your dad's law firm or something. You know, people look at you completely differently, even though it's just the same thing. You inherited a bunch
Right.
of genes and you happen to be able to be a great musician. Then your job is standing on a stage playing a guitar, and people look at you so differently from if you were working in a furniture store, if your parents owned a furniture store or they owned a delicatessen or a restaurant, and you took that over. It's interesting, but it forces you to be like a public figure your whole entire life. But do you
To
feel?
a degree, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of sort of annoying, isn't it?
I mean,
it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it definitely is. It'd be super weird to be really, really famous. That'd be like frightening, probably. But
You don't seem like you would like that.
to be,
He doesn't seem like
'Cause
he
you'd
would
be-
like
You'd be in a
that.
bubble. You'd be in a
I mean,
bubble all
and,
the
and
time.
to be like broke and famous would be
that
a
would be
nightmare. Would be a fucking nightmare.
But that happens.
So
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
floating right around the ambiguity area of all that. That's where I live.
He said, I'm in a happy place right now. So
But it helps to be talented, though. It does help that you can actually play the guitar. That would be worse. Like if you can't, like the Manning family. If you were in the Manning family and you couldn't throw a football, like isn't there one brother who's
Cooper, man.
Cooper.
Yeah, but
Cooper.
he got
He's-
injured.
he
He
got
used
hurt.
to. Yeah,
he was a
yeah.
football player.
He
He
was a
was.
wide receiver.
Yeah.
So imagine if you were in the Neville family and you couldn't play anything.
I mean, we have some people, like, we have family members that don't necessarily focus on music, but we definitely have an overload of people that do.
Yeah.
See, I
Focus.
think that's
But
a lot
imagine-
of pressure too. Because what if what if you wanted to play and your family was like, "Oh, you're not that good"? That,
Yeah, I mean, it is an added element of just expectation.
yeah.
of course, you grow up around it, and so how young were you when you decided you were really interested in music?
I mean, music just, if you grow up listening to it, I think it's a part of your world at that point. There's just all, what?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just if there was always music on or being played or a record or an actual instrument or whatever at some point, and it just becomes kind of ingrained, you know. And now, music is it's all that. It's like an escape for just listening to other people's music or for creating music. It's
Are you writing stuff as well?
Yeah. Always try to keep writing stuff. You know, we're working on a new Dumpstaphunk record. That's taken way
That's
too
about time,
long.
is it? Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah. The last
When's the
record
last
we
one?
put out was
2013 or something?
shit, yeah.
That was a long time
Yeah.
ago.
That
I'm
was
surprised.
a minute ago.
It's surprising that Dumpstaphunk is still together.
Yeah, I think
Given
that
that-
a lot.
Yeah. I was surprised it turned out to be a band because I remember it just used to be like a pickup band of tips you could like go see, and it was like you guys, and it just seemed like a really, you know, those New Orleans bands where you go like on a Friday night or a Saturday night to Tipitina's and it'll be like Ivan and a few guys or George Porter and a few guys.
But I've seen them. I
Now
lived
it's
in
been
Washington D.C. for a while, and I saw you guys at the 930 Club. Gosh, maybe before you were playing, 10 years ago, easily. And so I sort of saw them both ways, both home and away and touring. And you guys have been touring all the time, all those years.
Yeah, for the past, I guess like maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, we kind of throttled back full touring to try to do smarter touring, you know what I mean? But before that, we were busting ass on the road a lot. Like driving, we put many hundreds of thousands of miles on various vehicles all over, you know.
And who organizes all that? You have like a whole management behind the
We have a
scenes
whole
there?
management booking situation. Through the years, it's been a lot of different people.
Right. Now, who runs the band? Is it like Ivan's deal? Is he the boss sort of thing?
No, we're
is it-
a democracy to
That's
our
cool.
own detriment most of the time.
Yeah, that's how you want it, though, right?
decisions are the most difficult part about
Yeah.
making
I bet it
making
is.
music, being in a band.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
interesting. So that everybody weighs in, because normally someone seems to be in charge, don't they?
I mean, so we try to steer the ship and just keep shit going, you know,
Right.
because otherwise it'll just get stagnant and stale and the same and all that, you know. So
It must be pretty hard work for you two on stage there when you see Dumpstaphunk play, because there's two bass players. So what the
Yeah.
hell are they doing? Those
yeah,
two guys.
well, Tony and Nick, Tony Hall and Nick Daniels both play bass. Tony switches on guitar on some stuff, on
Right.
certain songs, but they are the definition of like, don't try this at home. Like it sounds good.
Right.
Like they just naturally how they play and stay out of each other's way, and it weaves together in some like helix kind of
Yeah, it's
funk
weird.
situation. That's
and then you're in the middle of that.
yeah, it leaves a lot of space.
Yeah.
Yeah, it leaves a lot of other area for some guitar and some keys, and yeah, just
It's a really great band to watch.
kind of weaves
live.
itself together when it works out.
It's like the Neville Brothers. It's like did you see the Neville Brothers gigs when you were a kid? Did you go to those?
Yeah.
You just sneaked in there somehow?
I mean, I used to sleep in the dressing room at Tipitina's when I was like 3 years old, and you know, this little
That is-
dressing
Yeah.
room nap. You could feel the whole floor
Yeah.
would vibrate the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did. I can remember many nights where those Neville Brothers gigs where
Yeah.
it was time to go home. There was that all
That's
over.
destiny.
You'd walk outside and it was daylight.
That's destiny, though. Like even, I love to hear people's stories, and you can hear where destiny chimes in as a child. I always tell other people when I'm talking to them about parenting, watch the child. You can see what their destiny is if you just pay attention to the way they play with toys, the way they do stuff, and the fact that you could even find solace within that thumping to go to sleep. Ooh, that if that was my child, I would know. I would know exactly where he was going.
I got a good story for you on that one. So my brother-in-law, who's a percussion player, my sister's husband, he, like I said, he plays percussion, and he has a photo of him and his brother when they were like, 2 years old or something like that. And it's like a drum, like a metal cylinder drum that was full of like building blocks, like wood building blocks, like
Right.
a kid's toys. And the photo is of his brother has built like a crazy cathedral-looking structure out of the blocks, and Taku is on the side of him with the drum flipped over, beating on it like it's a drum. And his brother's an architect, and he's a percussion player.
I'm telling you.
That's pretty cool.
I'm telling you, that's the most amazing part about parenthood. When you care, when you're not just reproducing to have monogram clothing, a lot of people want parts.
I didn't know you could even do that.
People want parts of life and marriage and stuff like that just to have the picture, and they don't realize they do that. Their lack of preparation shows that they just wanted the picture. You see what I'm saying? But when it comes down to kids, when you see how they do stuff and you watch them, even my youngest, he has a lot of my personality. He's very fiery, and he's funny and witty at 4. Like, he can crack a joke on somebody really quick, right? He's quick with words. But I watch him even with his emotions, and because I can tell that he's powerful when he gets in the room, because he's always the helper, the whatever in class and stuff. At home, he's something else. We're confused when we're at parent-teacher conference, like, oh, this is the kid he's saying, in class? Gotcha. Got it. At least he wasn't me. I was horrible in school. But
What school did you go to?
I went to Terrytown. Well, I went to high school at West Jefferson High School, and elementary school, Terrytown, middle school, Gretna.
You grew up on the West Bank?
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah. Both my parents born and raised uptown.
Your parents are from uptown?
You wouldn't have guessed that. huh?
Boy,
You
that's
were
not
up
I
on the
would have
West
guessed
Bank.
that.
Okay,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
Would you have guessed that, Mark?
No, I
I would not have said that.
Yeah. But my parents, we have and it's probably because inside of our home, we have a really tight situation going on. So, it's kind of like that was our world. And plus, I was punished pretty much every summer. So
Were
I had
you?
no
For the
choice but
whole-
to
you were punished
absorb
for a
all that
whole-
uptown mentality.
You punished for a whole summer?
Yeah. Oh, summers.
Summers.
I've
plural.
only had a few summers that were free.
Like recently.
Was this from shit you did in school, or just?
Yeah, school, and I was never disrespectful to adults. I'm still not like that. I will
Thank
put you
you.
in check if I have to, though. Sir, stop. But when it comes down to school, I just learned differently, and I didn't fit well in those kind of situations. So I kind of rebelled. I actually got put out of preschool. My mother can verify that story.
You got expelled from
I got put
That's
out.
gangster.
I was hanging out of the window.
At
And
preschool.
when they caught me, they told my mother to come pick me up, and she had to keep me home until it was time for me to go to regular school.
Wow. So you're a troublemaker.
I don't think so. I think I just
Right
needed
brain.
freedom.
I'm gonna stop fussing with my
Alternative
kids.
motivations and whatnot.
I needed freedom, and my personality is like that too. So
How did you end up cooking? Out of all this, of all things.
when I was
that
about-
doesn't seem like the right kind of thing. I think you'd end up on a stage or something.
See, I think
Well,
cooking is a big
it was
sort
both.
of expression of freedom.
I went to, and I like savory more than sweets. I like sweets because people want that from me sometimes, like my parents. But savory,
People
I
want
like
sweets from you.
sometimes, yeah.
That sounds like an interesting avenue that we could explore.
No, wait. But I like savory because I can do whatever the hell I want. You know, I like to have the freedom. I don't like the restriction in the.
But you like sweets because people like that better.
Sometimes
It's
I
more
do
rewarding.
it only for family members close.
Savory is not as precise. You start
No.
baking,
Oh,
and
really?
it's got to
What the
be
hell you
exact
want.
amounts. And,
You
but
can go so far. Like I just saw this stupid video about a chicken being baked in a watermelon, right?
Damn.
It was the most disgusting looking process. But at the end, you know what I said at the end? I didn't like the post, but I did comment and said, if you did it with jerk seasoning, it might work. Because it might. You know what I'm saying? Because that mildness
There's a
of the
video
watermelon.
on
Facebook. It's a taste. I think it's a tasty
Yes.
video. I think no. It's a Japanese video. I know that, but I know the chicken in a watermelon. Google it. I'm sure you'll find it.
Chicken and a watermelon.
Chicken. You bake the chicken, a whole chicken, inside of a watermelon. She put salt, pepper, gross already, and she put a lemon inside. Did not cut the lemon.
What do you got against?
That's weird.
What have you got
I'm not
against
sure what she was
salt
doing.
and pepper?
Well, it was salt and pepper only was the problem, but
Oh,
I
I
guess
see.
she was trying to amplify the watermelon. But what I saw is that it created a moisture dome. That's what I would count on
It
it
sounds
doing.
disgusting because the chicken
does
doesn't.
sound disgusting.
just
It looked
like
disgusting.
Won't brown. It just gets all gooey and.
Trust me, it was like a
gross.
gray
That worked
cream.
well.
Great. Yeah, it's like.
And when she pulled it apart,
Institution
she
food.
poured a sauce that looked something like duck sauce maybe on top. Which to me, if you have to throw a sauce on top of a meat as soon as it's done, that tells you something right there.
Yeah, you
Oh
fucked
yeah,
up.
that's an insult. Yeah, you just somebody take a steak and drench
So-
sauce on top. Okay, you don't think I can season food? Got it. Won't talk to you again.
So you grew up in a restaurant, Mark. Did
I
you
did.
end up cooking?
Never chicken in a watermelon.
No.
But yeah.
No.
This could be
Yeah.
the first time.
I was thinking, as Ian was talking, I think growing up in a restaurant family or a music family is as New Orleans as it gets. So,
Right.
like, I never knew. I mean, my playpen was in the back of the restaurant. So I didn't know it. Like, I grew up cooking because I didn't know that I thought that was just living. I didn't
Yes.
know
Right,
it was cooking. It was just a
Yes.
thing you wandering around and somebody says, grab a spoon and stir this because I got to run off. Don't stop stirring.
Right.
Well, before you know it, you're making a roux. You don't
And
know.
that's how I ran away from culinary arts. My mother forced me to go to college to go for culinary arts, and I didn't want to. I wanted to do theater because I would, whenever I was allowed to watch television, I would watch a movie and then lock myself in a bathroom and regurgitate it. Emotions, tears, everything, right?
What kind
in
of
a
a
mirror.
life were you living out there?
Well, it was a life
You
where
weren't
you
allowed
got
to watch TV.
With
You're
my
punished all
mom-
summer.
My mom called it doing fine grades, D's and F's. So, that was... Relatives would ask, well, Toya, you need to go around asking those annoying questions. I never do that to people's kids. What are your grades like? Complete judgment.
Did you get D's and F's in school?
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes,
Really?
indeed. Oh, yeah, I was horrible.
And every subject, like math and English and everything?
English,
Social studies?
English and science and social studies were my strong suits.
English?
Science and social
Well, what
studies.
the hell else is there? Everyone fails math. I mean, that's no big deal.
No, not everyone fails math.
Well, some people are
Yeah.
smart,
My
obviously.
daughter
but most,
doesn't. So
She's...
she's like a whiz.
But
So
if you're not getting D's and F's in English and social studies, you're okay. But that would be sad if you were getting an F in social studies.
yeah, that means you just don't care.
Yeah, you just don't.
Right.
Give a shit.
Yeah, but it's also learning styles that help too. Now, what really helped me out when I got in my 20s, because I was insecure most of my life, thinking that I was
Insecure.
basically creative and not smart, as in book smart, right? But
Well,
then I found out that I had a condition called synesthesis. When
Oh, hang on. We have to write that down. What is it?
Synesthesia.
yeah.
Synesthesia.
And-
Yo, I've watched a lot of shit about that.
That's what I paint. I paint sound waves.
No shit.
No lie.
That's dope.
I have mannequins. Well, we moved them out of the house because we're staging out. We had to stage our house for selling. But I have mannequins. I have random sofa pieces that I paint primer white, and I just put. I have a YouTube. While I was on somebody did a YouTube documentary. I painted my entire apartment from the ceiling. I painted listening to Benny and the Jets. And
It's only about 5 minutes long, that song. You're
yeah,
a
but
pretty
you
fast painter.
put it on repeat
You just put it on repeat and
All
listen to
night
Benny and
long.
the Jets while you do the whole.
all night long.
And you
Because
see slightly different vibes, shit, every
Yep.
playback.
well, you guys have got to slow down a bit. What is synesthesia?
It's basically, to paraphrase, it's like kind of like the hardwiring of your senses is crossed. It's not the same. So how I used to
Okay.
explain things to people used to make fun of me, like, that's stupid.
That's
that
not a
isn't,
thing.
And I'd be like, well, like they'll say something like a sound, or something looks crunchy or sounds crunchy or something like that, like kind of mixing up different things that shouldn't go together. And so those things make me feel really stupid, so.
But what are you talking about, Benny and the Jets and painting the ceiling? So when you hear music, you see colors? Is that or something?
And it says this on a YouTube video. I'm gonna post it on my Facebook when I get out of here. But when I was talking to my sister, I heard Benny the Jets started, and it went dun. And immediately when I heard that first piano strike, I saw hands like this, and I said, Emma, I need to get mannequin heads. And she was like, what? Now, my oldest sister, my middle sister is like the middle ground. It's like, you two calm down, stop being weird. But my oldest sister, she gets me. And she was like, well, what do you want to do with the mannequin heads? I said, I don't know.
Have you ever done acid?
No.
That's pretty much
Do
the
you
same
know on
thing.
YouTube? No.com.
Sure.
No.com, Terrytown, if you look up Terrytown artist or something like that, paints apartment.
Terrytown artist.
And
Okay.
One of the comments was that this looks like acid art. And I was just like, I'm never reading comments again. You will not ruin my creativity.
So this is what you see every day and all the time?
Yeah, when I'm in the mode of it. Sometimes I can see now. When I was younger, I didn't know what to do with that energy. When my mom first saw my apartment painted all over the place, she thought I was going crazy. She just kind of stopped at the door and just looked. And once my sister told her that I wasn't crazy, convinced her that she didn't need to call someone, when she actually walked around it, she thought, oh my God, if I would have known to give you this, I would have given you this a long time ago.
Not the acid.
No. Allowing me to be free artistically,
Right.
to want to paint walls and stuff.
How does it work? So you hear music or you hear sounds and you see colors, and that's it.
You hear sounds, and the colors make sense. And it's like if I was given a wall to paint, if I heard a sound like like I did Kanye West, You Can't Tell Me Nothing, right? I knew when I heard wait till I get my money right, boom, and I knew I was gonna put that purple was going to explode across the wall. And when you look at the footage from the apartment, it did. I kind of made it out like that. But that's how I learned how to cook on my own. Both of my parents were like you, when you said it's like a lifestyle. That's why I thought, Ma, it's not a gift for me to cook. Daddy cooks, you cook. That's, both of them are beasts in the kitchen. That's just what it is. You survive, it's not a gift.
Are there any other senses that are cross-wired besides sound and color?
Well, the food, that's what I was talking about.
Right.
I learned how to cook by taste. I could taste something and figure out how to duplicate it. So, yeah, like if I ate
What
at
about touch?
Touch?
Yeah, does that result in anything? There's no
No.
tactile type? Touch
No.
doesn't go with color or sound or...
I've never, if so, I've never discovered that or been in a moment to discover it. But, yeah.
You've heard of this, Ian. You know about this.
Yeah, I've watched a few decent length documentaries on the internet here and there
Yeah.
that are like, people will see certain letters or numbers associated with certain colors, or like one lady it manifested in a way where she ended up being like a math savant, basically, because she would see some sort of grid of numbers or something that would make her just be able to multiply crazy ass figures together instantly. And it's it sounds like it's as difficult to explain as an acid trip.
Right.
It's like what it really looks like to the person who's experiencing it.
Haven't you done acid and wish that you could recreate that somehow, or see that again when you weren't high?
Yeah.
That would be.
His eyes are
definitely.
very funny. He's like,
That would be great. I mean, I'm sure everyone who's done acid was
Should I
wish
answer
that.
this?
God, I wish I could go back to that.
he went.
I can't say no. I can't say
How
yes.
far is this going on the internet, right?
Mark, you're not going to admit that you've done acid here on this conversation.
It was a
When you were
very
a long time ago. Me too. I wouldn't be able to do it now. I'm scared that I'd have no brain cells left to barely hold together at the end of the day. But
It's like coffee if you do it right.
it's like acid is like coffee.
Yeah.
In what sense?
Like a little micro dose here and there. It's like
It's a little bit to keep
fucking
you-
micro
yeah.
pick me up coffee
Got
espresso.
you. Got
You
you.
know.
That
Until
would-
you drink like 3 cups.
Just put it in a
Well,
nutshell
anything
for me.
if you take too much, you know, you can go
where
south
do,
real
where
fast.
do you even buy
so
acid?
acid in moderation works.
Yeah.
Well,
I
everything
get
in
it.
moderation is probably.
I get it.
Yeah, have you guys
Makes
not
sense.
ever heard of microdosing before? People do that all the time over in Silicon Valley. They
This
take a
is
little-
Thomas, is
They
our
take a little
tech guy.
drop of LSD to focus
Is that
their
right?
attention and their creativity.
I can
at work.
imagine.
It's true.
I can imagine.
That's real life shit. That's
That
I
is.
support that idea.
Okay.
That's weird.
Where-
I didn't like getting high though.
You didn't like getting high.
Even though my mind went
kind
so
of person
far.
doesn't like getting high.
And it's only because I go so far out just sitting still, you know. The last time I did get high, you know what I thought? That was right before I figured out.
Everyone's looking at you.
No, I was in a room
They're
with
coming to
one
get
other
you.
person practically slobbing, which I learned my lesson.
What were you?
You have to find out their motive for getting high before you get high with them.
What were you
because,
taking?
Like,
What drugs are we talking
what
about?
are you running away from? What kind of weed is this? You know?
That was just weed can be
You're
very
not trying
strong.
to get high. You're trying to leave. We're on 2 different playing fields. But when that time I smoked, my mother was crying laughing because I told her about it. She said, "I can't believe you got high," but because she said, "You're stupid already, Toya. Why are you getting high?" But anyway,
Yeah, you're not a good candidate if you're already seeing colors
yeah, and look,
when you're walking down the street. And
and if my mother was here, she would
Painting a
say,
room.
"You see what I'm talking about, Toya?" But,
what's your mom do?
my mother, right now, she's retired. She was a nurse all of my life. Pretty much hardworking
Right.
woman, worked like 2 jobs.
Nurses are cool. Nurses are cool. That's a tough gig.
Yeah, it is.
Interesting
it
people
Is tough.
nurses become nurses. What does she
Yeah.
say now? She's retired. That's good. Does
She's
she help with
retired.
the kids?
Yes, indeed, Lord. Oh my God.
All right.
Yeah.
And
this-
who's your husband? He's your manager. You mentioned at some point there.
Yeah, he is.
And how did you guys meet?
We actually met on Match.com.
Wow.
Aha. Really? What's your profile? What do you
It's
say
definitely
about
gone.
yourself? I was just going to see if Andrew would pull it up.
When stuff like that gets official, you cut it off.
Wow.
You don't play those rocket games when you find the one, you know?
Was
How
he
long
here in
ago
New
was-
Orleans?
Yeah, we lived around each other all of our life. We met each other in 5th grade.
What?
My cousin went to school with him. We saw each other at school dance one time. One of the only times I danced with somebody at a school dance, because back then you were just too cool to dance. You know, like kids now they dance, but I asked my daughter, I said, "You dance?" And she said, "Yeah." Y'all didn't dance? What did you do at a party? We kind of stood there and it looked cool. That's
right.
what we...
Exactly. So you danced
stood on
with
the
this
wall.
guy in 5th grade who you ended up meeting on Match.com and marrying.
And we
You could
have
saved
not met
a
since
lot
then.
of time.
No, he wouldn't have wanted me before then. Yeah, because I didn't have a good cap on.
You had low self-esteem.
No. I didn't have a good cap on my creative abilities and how I was with people and things and how to. Now I have a good meter of how to separate, things and know what's important, what's not. Like I was not big into the idea of marriage. That scared me because I felt like just about every woman you see getting married, all you do is get knocked up and just stay at home all the time. I was like, that's not me. I gotta do something more. I'll get married after I get somewhere, But yeah, so I wouldn't have taken anything seriously
Right.
then.
How's it working out?
Really good.
How long's it been?
4 years.
4 years. Okay. How long have you been dating this unnamed person, Ian?
I don't know.
What'd
It's
you
tough
say?
to determine.
How'd you say when
really.
you started? I know,
That's a
that's a
great
hard
answer.
question, yeah.
What's today?
Tough to
You
determine.
know,
Smell bacon.
I know, today is it's a Wednesday.
Oh, that's that?
Yeah.
Look at why
Bacon's
do I
in the
smell-
drink.
Why do I smell bacon?
It's bacon. Hey, Mike,
It's
well,
a pork fat there.
what made you move out of New Orleans for? How long were you gone for? Years,
I was
right?
gone for 15 years.
15.
Yeah, I had a job that took me all over the country. And
What did you
got to
do?
live, I worked for the Department of Veterans Affairs, actually, serving veterans.
Uh-huh.
So I moved all over. I moved from here to Minnesota. Had never seen snow. I was 26, 27 years old.
It's not like it is in the
you
music
moved
videos.
straight from
is
here
it?
to Minnesota.
I moved to Minnesota. I actually got there the day after like a Halloween blizzard. Showed up in a suit. I didn't own a coat. From New Orleans.
I know you didn't.
They had a coworker take me to buy a coat because they didn't trust me to buy the right coat, and they were right.
Yeah.
So I moved all over. I lived in Houston 5 years, and lived in Nashville, lived in D.C. for a bunch of years.
And what were you doing for the VA?
All kinds of stuff. I ran the home loan program, mortgage program for helping veterans all over
Right.
the country. I ran
That's
that
nice.
during the recession, so that was a little tough, but I did that and helped veterans with disability
Uh,
benefits and getting jobs, and then ran some IT stuff for VA. And then
How'd you get into that? Were you in the military?
I kind of stumbled into it. I come from a family of veterans, and I wasn't a veteran, and I got out of college, USL, back in the early 90s, and it seemed like a really great job and a great way to give back to people that had done so much for the country. And one thing led to another, and every time I thought about leaving, some new opportunity came up. You know, people think about the government, it's a big bureaucracy, and it is, but I grew up in a small business. If you treat it like a small business, your own little piece, there's like never-ending opportunities. So I've just always treated it as I moved around as my little opportunity to carve out, kind of prove people wrong and do something fun. I get to do television, I get to do the mortgage stuff, got to help people build these IT systems, data stuff, all kinds of stuff. So, and along the way, you got to help individuals and really
So
connect.
you can't actually make a difference inside a giant.
You can. You just
Right.
got to get over. Like any big organization, there's bureaucracy, right? But it's all about, like what you guys are talking, it's all about fundamentally making a difference for one person at one moment, right? When you cook a nice meal or you're on stage, I got to believe you connect with somebody and you see that they're just enjoying themselves for 90 minutes, right?
Right.
It's the same thing. How do you help one person make a difference? How do you help a World War II veteran who's given so much, right? You change their life.
Right.
And so I moved all over the country, and we came home 5 years ago to raise our kids. They were then 10 weeks old as New Orleanians.
So you
Wow.
Come
you
on.
took your wife with you all this.
She followed me around long before she was my wife, and then once she was my
Wow.
wife, followed me all over the place.
Mark, is that Marie?
That is Marie.
Yeah, she
Thank
says
God.
she says hi on the live chat right now.
All right, okay.
Sweet baby
Hey,
Jesus.
so
in
she's
a
keeping an
manger.
eye on you.
Quick shout
I
out
mean-
to Marie Bologna.
He just shot out the dark. He was like,
So how'd you go from all that?
Sure glad we didn't go down that path of acid and marijuana.
Is that Marie?
How'd you go from all that to starting a podcast?
You know,
What
like
made you want to think of that?
the three of us are from New Orleans. You grow up, you got a list of things because people always ask, and I'm coming to New Orleans. What should I do?
Right.
And I think it's fair to say all three of us love the city and love sharing it. And one day I love podcasts, and I looked up and thought, there's a better way to do this rather than one email at a time. Why not share it? Why not share that love, right? Everybody goes into a place and goes, I wonder what the locals do. But here, we share that all the time. And I thought, well, what if you answered that on a podcast?
Right.
And as I was mentioning, in the music business and food business, I think in New Orleans is as inside as it gets.
That is.
You just know
yeah.
people, and they cross over. If you grow up in either one of those, you just know things. You're in places that maybe other people aren't. You get to know people that come in. Like in our place, it was a neighborhood place, but we had football players and musicians and
Right.
chefs that came in. We just knew them. We didn't know, you didn't treat them, they're just family, neighborhood people. And so I thought that would be such a cool insight, at least I hope, to share that and find other people like that would just share insider tips about New Orleans. And that's what we do.
And people listening to it.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like 3 or
people
4
wanna know
actually.
that.
Yeah, there's a couple of people.
It's sort of always amazing to me, but I think it's like cooking, it's like music. People want to know. They
Right.
want to know. They come in
Right.
town. They
But
don't
the funny
wanna
thing
just
is
go
that
in-
you're not a broadcaster. You didn't
No.
You didn't start off in radio, or you went in TV, or you're not in showbiz at all.
You know,
you work
good
in the
though.
VA, and now you're making a podcast.
And a weird thing, and that kind of gets back to the bureaucracy. One of the things I did was television broadcast inside the VA. So training things, right? So you get used to being on stage or having monitors or talking, using a teleprompter.
Yeah.
And you
What
realize
do you
one
do-
day you get this skill that you can.
Right. You can be a motivational speaker. like
Yeah.
Toya. Chef Toya. Hey, and are you still at the VA now? Here?
Yeah.
You still doing
That's
that?
what I do during the day.
That's your day
That's
job.
good.
Then I
And
come
where,
home.
where do they think you are now?
They think I'm on annual leave, which I took this afternoon,
Oh,
so
you
I could
did?
come hang out
Oh,
with you.
that's great. So you're actually on like,
I'm on my own time
Furlough.
right now. That's right, for the afternoon.
all right. So you can take it's like microdosing. You can take your annual leave in an hour increments.
Never thought of it that way, Grandpa. Sure, it's microdosing.
I think that has to be the name of today's show, don't you?
Just start.
It's a good thing
Add
the
that title and everything.
good thing the podcast is working out because I'm
Yeah.
gonna. Right.
Yeah, because they won't be having you back at the VA
That's
after you
right.
hear that you've been doing acid, smoking pot, and microdosing.
None of which in the last day or two.
That's good though
Do
that
they-
you're doing that.
Do they do drug testing at the
They do.
VA?
They do.
What about
I'm sure.
Dumpstaphunk? Is it
Dumpstaphunk
drug
does
test?
not
LSD,
drug
Grant.
test.
You have to drug
Yeah,
test
no.
positive, or
Drug
you
test
can't.
free policy, yeah.
It's the other way around, though. You have to test positive in Dumpstaphunk for drugs,
No,
not test negative.
not so much.
What's
No, you
going on?
definitely
Is everybody
don't, but-
clean living? Everyone's getting older now.
Yeah, I mean,
Just looks
my
like-
Ivan,
you know?
my cousin Ivan's been sober for
Yeah.
19 years.
Right. He's
Yeah.
Mr. Straight. Well, remember, everybody used to be fucked up. The whole Neville Brothers thing, they were all completely, and they all straightened up, remember? Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure you do remember.
Yeah,
Yeah. 'Cause
we're
they-
guilty of all that. Yep.
Yeah. God, I remember reading that book. Is that the biography or the autobiography about stories about how, was it your dad and Aaron would be all fucked up and got on a bus to get off of drugs? They would take a bus from New Orleans to New York with no drugs.
That's genius.
Was that
That was
Aaron?
that might have been. I don't. That might have been my uncle Charlie.
That's Charlie.
That was in that book. I forget.
Yeah. It's a book about the Neville Brothers. Was it Charles? One of
Might
them.
have been,
Oh,
yeah.
it's a terrible story. They're so high, they have to stop to get off everything. The cheapest way to get yourself off was to get a bus ticket.
That's why I tell you
From
it's
New
genius
Orleans
because you don't
to
have to
New
pay for
York.
rehab
Oh,
or anything
yeah,
like that.
right.
I mean,
But what a way to go on a Greyhound bus.
You know you're gonna be miserable anyway.
Oh.
Just take that ride.
On. Just
That's a hell of a story.
yeah.
It must be fun growing up with all those stories, though. I mean, that was your life as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, you learn where to take which direction of kind of lesson you
Right.
want to learn from every kind of story.
Right. Must be fun having Thanksgiving with Aaron Neville and your dad, Art. And must be
We don't do
interesting.
a huge.
You don't do
We
a
do
family.
our. We do our.
All right.
Household family Thanksgiving vibe thing, and then maybe like some floaters
Right.
that pop up here and there.
Is there ever a
But-
whole family thing?
about
Plus,
when
we're all
the
scattered
brothers-
right now, you know.
Do the
You
brothers?
do-
No, our traditionally our family reunion was Jazz Fest. Was the last Sunday at Jazz Fest. That was the
right.
day that our whole family was in the same place at the same time.
Yeah, how cool
That's
is that?
nice.
man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a cool way to grow up.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know Professor Long here? Or was he
no,
gone
not
before
directly,
you came
no.
on? Yeah. All those guys. Dr. John, he was around, I would imagine.
Mac is still
Yeah,
around.
Right.
Yeah, Mac's still gigging, playing.
Right. Oh,
yeah.
God, yeah. He's better than ever, actually.
Yeah, Mac's killing.
Yeah. He
Oh,
is.
Mac Rabenak.
Yeah. He's the real deal.
Yeah, him and my dad are tight. That shit's funny as hell when they, yeah.
I bet. That must be interesting to be
Yeah.
a fly on the wall in those conversations. Going back over that. So, Toya, you have I saw this is the one bit of information I do have about you. It says here that you're releasing your first cookbook.
Yeah, my first cookbook.
Cook like a New Orleanian.
It's New Orleans' first interactive cookbook. So it has a hard copy, of course, because people love to collect books. But the interactive copy, you can look at it on your iPad and you can basically watch a video of me making the roux at the same time for my gumbo. Now
That's dope.
it's derived from my YouTube channel that does pretty well. I have over like 4,000 and some subscribers. Only been doing it for like maybe 2 years or so.
Your videos are
And
great.
thank you. Thank you, Song.
Yeah.
Thank you. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to stop people from going to the blog and then going to the YouTube channel, then going to the blog and then the YouTube channel. So you put it all together and they get to look at it and then they click play while it's on the stand and they can do like this and watch it. But I think what makes my book so different from other people's books is that a lot of chefs and a lot of people have personality and skill and gifts, but I have one extra gift that's connected to my culinary background and performance
Synesthesia.
background. No.
Another
no.
one.
My gift to teach.
Ah.
So I make everything just crazy simple. Gumbo in like 6 steps. I could have anybody making anything. Even kids. I had one kid,
Okay,
an
that's
artist.
could be good for us.
An artist that I know, a singer, Karen Green. Her son was about, which I commend parents who really pour into their children creatively. They all play they're like the Jackson 5 kids. They all play instruments and stuff, right? But one of them wanted to learn how to cook, so she got me to come over and give him lessons. 9, 10 years old, he's making a roux for crawfish etouffee. He made crab and corn bisque. I say it's just a matter of teaching and being able to clearly direct people on one simple plane, you know?
People who can cook always say that, though.
No, that's
Don't
not.
they?
Well,
People who can cook always say, it's simple. You just
people
have...
who are trying to
It is.
sell
You
their
get hungry
cooking.
enough, you figure that shit out.
Are you a good cook, Ian? Can you cook well?
Yeah.
Are you good? And Mark, you're a good cook. You've
Yeah,
got to
I'm
be,
a-
because
I'm
you
a
grew
good
up.
cook. Yeah,
Right.
Grew up in it. So I got a question. What's your last meal? You could have one meal left, and you knew what.
Damn.
You
I
knew,
mean, if you're going to be...
what would it be?
Damn.
Wow.
I don't know. I can't
Last
answer that.
meal.
So I'll jump.
Chicken
in.
and watermelon?
No, because that's still up for creepy, but maybe we can make it work. The chicken and
Hanson's.
watermelon. No.
I'm gonna just get a
Hanson's.
snowball. Fuck it. Yeah.
No.
You better get them on now.
Good
Well, you don't
bacon
want to
cheddar
die with a
fries.
full... st-
Bacon
What?
cheddar fries.
Bacon cheddar
Real-
fries.
Real fresh cut fries, the kind that have
All
been
right.
soaked in water,
Yeah.
done. Salt and pepper as soon as it hit out the grease. Like, don't, wow, like that,
Fresh
right?
out the grease.
And- yeah,
as we say. on
You
the
got
road.
it.
Yeah.
You got to have it fresh out the grease. I hate when I see the fries sitting. I'm like, you gonna salt them now? So you're salting the napkin. Thanks. But anyway, but you salt them immediately. Put really good cheddar, shredded cheddar on top, evenly distributed, and good hickory or apple smoked bacon.
And this is from someone who does not smoke pot, by the way.
That's
This is like a
Cuda
pot
Brown's
smoker's
4 in the
life.
morning, kind of back in the day.
When I tell you I love Cuda Brown's, I love any hole in the wall kind of place to eat at. I love it. They have the best food. You're not disappointed. Don't look behind the counter. It's
if
creepy.
Snake and Jake's
but-
had food, I don't know that I would take that ride. I don't know.
But Cuda Brown's is good.
It is
Well, when
good.
you're on the road, Ian, where's the place you want to come back to that you think, I'm going to get home and I'm going to go get a meal at?
It fluctuates over time, I guess. But when I got back this last time, I went to Pesh.
Pesh,
Pretty quick
that's
because they have
fancy.
those crab
Right.
claws. The crab
I've
claw
never been.
situation they have there
That's good.
is killing, and
Okay.
that's a seasonal deal. So when it's like time for that, I hit them up,
All
but
right.
it changes. Like I don't know. I hit up Vincent's.
Vincent's.
Vincent's is
Another
good.
good one.
Vincent's is good.
What are you, Mark? What would your last meal be, seeing it was your question?
Yeah, since it was my question, right? So it would be gumbo yaya, chicken and andouille gumbo, good smoky. Mr. B's has a good one. Barbecue
B's.
shrimp would be my main course.
Okay. And you've
And-
thought about
I
I'm
have
allergic
thought
to
about
dairy,
it.
so barbecue shrimp, I love it. I
No.
love it. But I can use vegan butter, but I don't know.
Yeah,
You're
you
vegan?
could.
No, not at all. No.
Okay.
But I'm
With
allergic
the
to
bacon.
dairy, so I have
Right.
to if I do barbecue
You're
shrimp,
allergic to dairy.
it's so annoying. And it was I thought it was
That's like
lactose
past
intolerant.
Yeah, it's like an extreme lactose.
Very
situation.
extreme because my palms get red and I start sweating and it becomes something different, and they said that that's a reaction in my digestive system.
when you look at your palms and they're red, what music do you hear?
I don't hear any
Dumpstaphunk.
music. I hear "Where's the Benadryl" or
Where's the
Yeah, it's a good
"Can
song.
I get a steroid shot?" Possibly.
Well, that sucks. So, if
Oh, yeah, like the guy at
what
urgent
about
care
ice
is like,
cream?
you have to stop.
What about ice cream? Can you eat? No ice cream.
And I've been wanting ice cream for a very long time. Especially now, I've been craving ice cream, but I have to find a good soy that I can
Oh,
eat.
that really is bad.
Oh yeah.
But
Or
at least
sometimes
you-
I wing it though.
At least you live in a place with snowballs.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, you can have.
Satsuma.
Oh,
Satsuma
that is-
ginger cayenne combo.
But Satsuma is good with the rum, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ginger cayenne. I'm still.
What about your
is it
condensed
spicy?
milk thing that you said you have condensed milk or the chocolate?
Yeah, condensed milk. It has to be small.
But can you eat?
Small
Is condensed
doses.
milk is? Oh, this is a stupid question, but is that milk actually?
Yes, it is. But
What
it's
about evaporated milk? What the hell is that?
Good question.
Evaporated milk. I don't know exactly scientifically what evaporated milk is, but I know it's not too well for my stomach. It's definitely too creamy. Definitely too creamy.
Evaporated milk.
It's
I've
something,
seen it.
allegedly.
Yeah,
That's
I've
what I
seen
put
it
in
on-
pralines.
It doesn't make.
Oh, you make? It's a powder.
No, evaporated
What's-
milk is like this thick. It's this thick, almost. It's below condensed milk in the thickness, basically.
It's thicker than condensed milk.
No. It's
Thinner.
below. It's below.
Below. More.
Yeah, it's right below.
Thinner. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
more
thinner.
watery than condensed milk.
Condensed milk has sugar in it.
It does.
And the evaporated milk, you
Thank
can
you,
double
C-Rock.
it to
Fact
make
check.
regular milk.
He's
You
on
can
it.
have
C-Rock's on
a can of water, I think a can or either 2 cans of water to evaporated canned milk. That's how
Re-evaporated milk at that point.
what they used to call pet milk.
Yeah.
right.
What-
I know. Try to go to the store. Where's the pet milk?
Are you
Pet
supposed
milk?
that?
What are you talking
That's in a
about?
can, right? So you can keep that, I suppose, like for hurricane preparedness or something.
Yeah, man. When I saw the back of it one day, I said, "Oh my God, you add water to this crap and it becomes like milk for cereal."
Yeah,
Negative.
no, I don't
Not
think
doing
so.
it.
We have to get out of here, but let's just say before we go, thank goodness we're not evacuating right now.
Oh yeah.
Thank
We do
goodness.
not have to worry about this hurricane coming here, whatever it's called, Irma.
Well,
And hopefully it's
I
not
was
going
gonna give
anywhere.
it till about 2 days from now to really decide because they don't know
It's
where the hell
I had
It's
a
not
feeling
coming
he was going
here,
to be on the
but-
fence about it. Yeah, that's why I just looked like I knew he was going to say.
No, it's totally
I
not
agree
coming
that
here.
it's not time to panic at all yet, but
And it's not coming
We don't
here
know
for,
where the
for
shit that
100%
thing's going.
sure. It's not coming here, I promise you.
who told you that?
Bob Breck. If you go...
I love
if
how
you
everybody's
look-
saying his
if you-
name as if, oh, that's
He's
we're cool. Bob,
he's the
Bob
man,
told
Bob
me.
Breck. If you
No,
go,
wait.
if you Google Bob Breck's blog and go look at Bob
Say that
Breck's
shit
blog,
5 times fast, right?
I'm not going to try it again. Check it out. He says it's definitely not coming
You
here.
should
I
still
totally
have your
believe
water
him.
and alcohol ready, just in case.
Well,
Yes.
I've always got the alcohol
Stock
ready,
up.
of course, but it is happy hour all the time if it's a hurricane. But thank God it's not coming here. We don't have to worry about it, and hopefully it won't go anywhere. It'll just go up the east coast and into the ocean. Hopefully, but God knows if
Just
that's going to
evaporate
happen.
with the milk.
Like the milk,
Evaporate.
exactly.
The East Coast is still
Evaporated
somewhere.
hurricane.
No, but I mean, it won't actually hit land. It's possible that it could still disappear. But just thank God we're not getting out of here right now and going and packing up and leaving.
Yeah, true
which
that,
was
true that.
I'm very
which
glad about
way
that.
it could have gone. So thanks everybody for hanging out with me for an hour here on Happy Hour.
Thank you for having me.
Chef Toya Boudy, we can link to your page on our page on itsneworleans.com,
Mm-hmm.
and so we can go and see your videos and get our hands on their interactive cookbook.
Yep, you sure can.
And Mark Bologna, we can see your link to your podcast, Beyond Bourbon Street.
Yep, Beyond
As
Bourbon
well.
Street.
And thank you so much for taking your annual vacation to come and hang out with us.
My little
That's
mic-
actually the
my
nicest
microdose.
compliment anyone's. Your microdose of it. That's a pretty major compliment, I have to say.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you,
me.
really
Carl.
appreciate that. And Ian Neville, what a great pleasure to have you here. Thanks
Thanks
for
a lot,
being
man.
here.
Yeah.
And before you guys go, don't forget to take some Hangover Destroyer with you. It's free for you, and if you're listening to this podcast somewhere around the world and you'd like to get your hands on Hangover Destroyer and you're wondering what it is, it's the only all-natural product medically proven to prevent a hangover. You can get it at hdestroyer.com, and if you write the words Happy Hour on the coupon code, you can get some percentage off, 30% off your order of Hangover Destroyer so that you too can seize the dawn. And thank you as well to Basics Swim and Gym. We can get a full range of fashion swimsuits, workout, and yoga clothes with style. You can get a bikini, a one-piece, a cover-up, everything you need for the beach or the pool is at Basics Swim and Gym. It's right next to the lingerie store, Basics underneath, on Magazine Street in New Orleans. That's Happy Hour for another week. The producer of our show is Graham DePonte, Alison Moon and April Stolfer, our associate producers, and Christian Unruh is our music director. Jean Valois is our music producer, and Thomas Walsh is our technical director. Our live feed director who's put all this together is Asher Griffith, and our fact checker right over there is Andrew C-Rock. Our theme music was written by and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on our show and you can stay upright for about an hour while drinking alcohol, drop us a line. Our address is on our website, itsneworleans.com. We can also find many other hours of Happy Hour to listen to, as well as some other shows we make here, including Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti, live from Commander's Palace, and Louisiana Eats with Poppy Chooker. You can find other great Louisiana podcasts at beyondbourbonstreet.com and also at acadiana.com and itsbatonrouge.la. You keep up with us on Facebook and Twitter and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well. And all of it we're called It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com and on our Facebook page, which is also called It's New Orleans. These photos are taken today by Alison Moon. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast app, thank you for subscribing to us. If you've got a free moment, use it to rate and review us. That helps other people find us. It really does. Our show is recorded live today at Wayfare on Ferret Street in Uptown New Orleans. If you're looking for Andrew Duhon, he's been gone for the whole day, and he's gone for a few more weeks. If he's in a town near you, go see him. You can find that out exactly where he is at andrewduhon.com. So for Andrew, everyone else around here at the table at Wayfare, back at our office at I Know Broadcasting, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Grant Morris. I'll see you back here next week for more Happy Hour.
Farmers Insurance knows the difference between a car hitting your bumper and a clown car hitting your bumper.
Sorry about that.
Because we covered it. Click for more.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.